T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Welcome to my first Transformers Siege review. Of course, this is the first in their War for Cybertron trilogy. It's a joint effort between Takara Tomy and Hasbro. He is a Battle Master, which is the new name for a Targetmaster because they don't always turn into guns like they normally did. So they could be other type of weapons and whatnot. Here's a preview of his alternate mode and him being used by Optimus Prime and his little blast effects on other robots. Okay, here is Firedrive out of the packaging. This video is probably going to have a long time because I want to discuss some other figures and show a bunch of comparisons between him and some other figures that are supposed to be in his price range, or typically would be in his price range, to prove a point and to just show comparisons and whatnot. But here he is. He doesn't have a lot of paint. He has red on his chest. He has that gray right there on his abdomen. He has a red face with a red Autobot logo and red eyes. So red on red on red. The only other paint is this dumb tattoo that they put on all their action figures for whatever reason. Yeah. Articulation, nothing in the head. Arms can go like that far on that ball joint and swivel. Of course, they can just go all the way around. Legs have a wide range as well because they can go out to the side like that. Hollow. I don't like, these things are $6 now. $6. And there's hollowness. I know their excuse is going to be they want this thing to be light so that the bigger figures can hold it without their arms drooping and whatnot, but it's hollow. The sculpt of this dude, it reminds me of, I believe it was Floral Dairy. I hope I'm getting that right. His design looks exactly like one of those sketches, like especially the feet and the curve of the leg and whatnot. So that is cool, but I wish that it had ball jointed knees. I know it doesn't need it for the transformation, and they probably want to make things simple for little kids, but I wish it would have had knees. I can deal with stiff arms, but I wish it had knees. If you want, this can come off and has this little peg, which is the same size as a peg that would be in a stand. So just to show you this off, it could like fit into that stand port right there on a bigger figure. But he doesn't have peg holes in his hands, but he has them on the side of his arm. So you can do this right here. And these tips right here are stand port size as well. And what you're supposed to do with these is take these blast effects, which are a pliable clear material. You can put that there, and he can pretend he's shooting right there. Pow, pow, pow. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Here's his back. Another piece of articulation, but it's mostly for a transformation, is he does have an ab crunch. But ab crunches are way more useful when you have knees. Like, he would have been awesome if he had knees. But anywho, to transform him, you can put this back or never take it off in the first place. Pretend this is a backpack as well. I mean a jetpack. That's cool. But transformation, lift this up over his face. Take the feet and plug them together. Rotate the abs forward and bring the feet into this right here. Take these pegs on the inside of the wrist, plug them into his hips, and now he is a gun. Right there. The name of the gun is, hold on, he turns into a dual-charge electrostatic photon cannon. Yeah. So basically it just looks like this. This peg right here is still visible. So figures that have little stand port size hands can still hold that right there. So that's cool right there. But yeah, if you want to see it without these effects, here it is. So you have these things right there plus that. So it's cool. It does the job. And that's decent. The only complaints I have with it are what I complained about. I don't think that this is worth $6, to be honest with you. Compared to, and this is why this video is going to be longer, compared to other figures that have been out in the smaller price range, I feel like they're kind of getting over on us by saying that they're probably saying that getting these extra little pieces are worth it. But this was $5. These retail for $5. Look at all this paint right here. I mean, the only articulation they had right here is this, but that's only because they decided to not give it ball jointed shoulders. They could have gave this thing ball jointed shoulders if they wanted to, and it could have been comparable to this dude right here. And just like Firedrive, he has they're about the same height. So just like Firedrive, he has this removable gun that you can plug into his hand. But one thing he has over him is a whole separate robot inside of there. So this robot has more, or probably similar points of articulation. It has the hips and the knees and the ball jointed shoulders and a rotating head that is on a ball joint. That's another thing. Well, I just expected this to have at least bending knees. Maybe some of them in the future will have that. I know Hasbro likes to spread the wealth as far as the capabilities of figures, but they didn't do that here. Here's another figure that was $5 when these retailed at $5. This is $6. Like, they're about the same size, or these are bigger with another little robot inside of there. And this shell that becomes a separate little entity, just like this becomes a separate entity. It transforms into a gun, and it has another alternate mode. So, same thing with this. And I believe these right here are $5. So, I don't know why they need an extra $1 for this. I honestly feel like this should be $4, to be honest, with what you get in comparison to this. But just to show you something, this is Masterpiece Offshoot, who was partnered up with Masterpiece Rodimus Prime, aka Masterpiece Hot Rod, the original version. So Firedrive was originally named Firebolt, and he was partnered up with Hot Rod, but I guess they lost that name and they went with Offshoot at first. Then they decided to go back to Firedrive. I brought up Hot Rod. Here he is pictured with his partner again. Only awkward thing is he has a Titan Master who is also named Firedrive. So yeah, they pretty much look nothing like each other. Because you know during Titans Returns they didn't like painting these little dudes. But yeah. So it's cool that he can be with his partner again. And maybe if you bought Power to Prime's Rodimus Prime, who also becomes Hot Rod, you wouldn't have this problem that I'm having right now. But I have not been willing to pay the money it costs to get that Hot Rod. Because I don't really like him that much. I would love to own it, but maybe when I find that thing on deep clearance. Here he is being wielded. There you go, that. Maybe you want some fire effects on there. Yeah. I have never been able to get this Hot Rod into a good looking pose. And then his hips are just so loose on me now. So, yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll get a better Hot Rod. Please, please, Hasbro. Y'all like keeping your trademark, so we probably will. Unfortunately, he can't port up here. In Japan, they made a different Hot Rod that did have like a little port up there that can hold a Targetmaster. And while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to have to dig up some pictures to see if this is actually the same mold. Because that might be the case. You can't even port him here because he'll be dragging on the ground unless you port him like that. So that's unfortunate. And he can't fit in here, of course. And he will be hanging out with his self if both of them are together in this mode anyway. So there you go with that. When you guys hear me complaining about price, it's because I've been collecting for a long time. Like years ago, you can get this Minicon set for less than it costed to get this guy. This Minicon right here is covered in paint. It's substantial plastic, no like hollowness really. I mean, it has to be hollow right here for the transformation, but look at that, taller than that. You got all three of these robots for the price of that dude, or probably cheaper. These things probably were like $5. It has separate legs, knees right there. I don't think the head doesn't rotate on this one, but some of these Minicons have rotating neck joints. But look at all this, like no freaking hollowness, painted. Everything's filled out unless it has to be hollow due to transformation. But all three of these were the price of that one guy. So that's why I complain about price. Like my problem, I realize that Transformers prices will have to go up. But my main big problem with the prices going up is the quality deteriorating. Like figures being thinner plastic or having what they call waffles, like the empty space. I thought that Transformers would stay the same, but the price would go up, but that didn't happen, and that's why I complain so much. But I hope you enjoy me comparing him to all this stuff. This won't be happening for the future reviews, but I just wanted to get on a tiny bit of a soapbox to complain about all that stuff. For what this is, it is a cool toy. I didn't expect it to be a masterpiece, but for the price, I didn't expect it to have hollowness, and I thought it would at least have ball jointed knees. But I was wrong. So, and that way I'm disappointed, but I am happy to own him, and it is cool that he comes with these little effects and that you can interchange these with other future figures and accessories. So yeah, if you like what you see and you think that price is good, then go for it. If not, you can sit out on this and just get the other bigger figures or whatnot. But the other ones are basically the same thing as this. So yeah, maybe in the future some of them will have knees like I said, but for right now this one doesn't. I'm tired of talking, so thank you for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really